Hey guys, what's up? So we're back at it again, and now we're gonna be looking at the percentage profit. All right, the percentage profit and the percentage loss. All right. Okay, so it says here we can find the profit percentage or the loss percentage by finding the profit or loss as a percentage of the cost price. Okay, so what does this really mean? Basically, this is trying to say that you can find the profit as a percentage of the cost price. Cool. So if you look here, it says the profit percentage. If you look at the formula, it says is equal to the profit over the cost price multiplied by 100. So what we're really doing here is we are expressing the profit as a percentage of the cost price to say how much our profit percentage is. So in business, a lot of people always say, I made 100% profit, right? And that usually means that what they sold it for, they made 100% on what they bought it for, right? So let me give you a good example. If you sell an item for $20, right, and you bought it for $10, right, then that would be 100% profit because 10 minus the 20 would give you $10, right? So the amount you bought it for is the amount you sold it for. So you made 100% profit on the item, right? So that's basically what this concept is about, guys. It's about finding the profit percentage, which is the profit as a percentage of the cost price. So let's look at this example down here. It says the profit, right? We already know the formula for the profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price. So that's the top here, right? Over the cost price multiplied by 100. Okay, so let's go back to this same example here that we have over here. We buy the item for $10, right? So this is the cost price, and we sell the item for $20. So to find the profit percentage, right, let's use a little formula. It's equal to the selling price, which is $20 minus $10 over the cost price, which is $10 multiplied by 100, right? So it actually end up with 10 over 10 because it's 20 minus 10 gives you 10 multiplied by 100. So these zeros cancel and you end up getting 100%, just like I said earlier. Cool. All right, so that's basically how you use the formula to find a profit percentage. The profit percentage doesn't always have to be 100%. Sometimes it's 20%, sometimes it's even 10%. There are lots of business people who, if they gain a 5% profit, they would be happy, you know. So, especially in the supermarkets, you know. So, right. So this is pretty much the formula for the profit percentage, guys. And it's the same thing. It's a similar formula for the percentage loss. So the percentage loss is the loss as a percentage of the cost price. So it's the same thing. It's a loss over the cost price multiplied by 100. But the formula is a bit different here because remember the formula for the loss is equal to the cost price minus the selling price. So you end up with the cost price minus the selling price over the cost price multiplied by 100. Cool. And we're going to look at an example of the loss percentage right after this. So it's the same thing, right? You use the formulas from the last video, the loss and the profit formulas. You divide it by the cost price and multiply it by 100. So that's how you find the profit percentage or the loss percentage. And down here it says both the loss percentage and the profit percentage are calculated as a percentage of the cost price, which means that you divide it by the cost price, right? You divide it by the cost price, then multiply it by 100. Okay, so that's all you're doing. You're dividing by the cost price and you multiply it by 100 to find the percentage, the loss or profit percentage. Cool. All right, so let's look at some examples now. All right, guys. All right, guys. Great. So we're going to look at this example here. We're back in it. Let's look at the first example here for the profit percentage and the loss percentage, right? It says a hustler buys 100 bag juices at the cost of $1,000 in total. He sells them at $20 each. What is his profit percentage? All right. Okay. So let's do A, right? So for A now, we need to find the profit percentage, right? So let's write out the formula. Profit percentage is equal to the profit as a percentage of the cost price, right? So we're going to put a line here, the profit over the cost price, right? Multiplied by 100. Cool. But we need to find the profit first. All right, guys. We need to find the profit first. So in this case, we need to find out how much each bag juice costs. We need the cost price for one bag juice. All right, guys. So the cost price is equal to the $1,000 in total that he paid for each bag, for all the bag juices, divided by 100, right, which is the 100 bag juices. So we're going to end up with 0, 0, these cancel here, and the cost price is equal to $10. Cool. All right, so the cost price for each bag juice is $10, and he sells them at $20 each. So let's break this formula down. Remember, the profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price, and then you're going to divide that by the cost price and then multiply it by 100 to get the profit percentage. Cool. All right, so we're going to end up with $20, right, minus $10. Cool. Let me put that minus over here instead. $20 minus $10, right? All over the cost price, which is $10. So we're going to end up with, oh, no. Right, all over the cost price, which is $10, right? Multiplied by 100. Cool. So this 10 minus the 20 would give us 10 over 10 multiplied by 100, right? And the profit percentage, right, the profit percentage is equal to 100%. So he made 100% profit on each bag juice when he sells them at $20. All right. Cool. So we're good there. We're good there. All right. So let's do B now. Let's have B down here. And for B, we need to find the loss percentage. Okay. In this case, he sells them for $8, right, each, which is a loss because the cost price is $10 each. So it says, what is his percentage loss? So to find that now, it would be the loss, right? Sorry. Yeah, let's write that again. It would be the loss over the cost price multiplied by 100, which is equal to, the loss would be the cost price minus the selling price. So it's CP minus SP over the cost price multiplied by 100. So this would actually give you 10 minus 8 over 10 multiplied by 100. And you see how I get that, right? The selling price is 8, the cost price is 10. So we'll end up with 10 minus 8 over 10 multiplied by 100. So we actually should end up with 2 multiplied by 10 here. 10 minus 8 gives us 2. Then we should get 10 times 2. So the loss percentage is actually 20%. So they made a 20% loss here. All right, guys. Cool. So we found the percentage profit and the percentage loss in these two examples. And you notice we had to find the profit, we had to find the loss, and sometimes, guys, you have to look at the question to decide what the cost price is. You have to really think about it. Like, think about the question to say, all right, if he bought them at $1,000 and he bought 100 for $1,000, then the cost price would be the $1,000 divided by the 100. That's how I got that $10 cost price there. And of course, you just use the formula and work it out. So looking good, guys. This is looking good. Looking great. Let's do another example now. Okay, guys, so back into the second example here. We're back in it, and it says a bicycle shop named Cycle City. They decide to import two items, a bicycle for 100 US and sold it for 250 US. And they also imported a bicycle helmet for 20 USD and sold it for 8 USD because it was damaged when they imported it. So it had some damages, but somebody decided to buy it so they can cover the losses. So it says calculate the percentage loss and profit for A and B above. Okay. All right. So let's start with A. Let's calculate the percentage profit for that one. So for A, the profit percentage is equal to the profit multiplied by 100, and the profit is over the cost price, right? So let's look at the question. The cost price is $100 because they bought it for $100, right? And the selling price is $250. And remember, the profit is equal to the selling price minus the cost price, and this is over the cost price multiplied by 100. So this should be equal to 250, the 250 US minus the 100 US all over the 100 US, which is the cost price, multiplied by 100. So these 100s cancel each other out, and we're going to end up with the profit percentage being equal to 250 minus 100, which is 150%. All right, guys. So they made 100%, 150% profit on that bicycle. Cool. Great. Now the second one here, it says a bicycle helmet for 20 US. They imported a bicycle helmet for 20 US and sold it for 8 USD because it was damaged when they imported it. That's really sad, and it happens, right? So the loss, right? The loss percentage is equal to the same thing, the loss over the cost price, right? Multiplied by 100, which is equal to the cost price minus the selling price over the cost price, right? Multiplied by 100, which should be equal to the cost price. It cost $20, right? And they sold it for $8 over the $20 multiplied by 100. So 20 goes into 100 5 times, and 20 minus 8 should give us 12, right? And so 12 times 5 would actually be the loss percentage. Cool. Yeah, that should be it. So, okay. So 12 times 5 is actually 60. So they made a 60% loss on this item. Okay. They really incurred a 60% loss on this item. All right, guys. Cool. So we're actually finished with this topic now. I'm pretty sure that we can calculate the loss percentage and the profit percentage if asked in a question. Sometimes they actually mix they ask you for the profit, they ask you for the profit per item, and they may ask you for the profit percentage. So they may ask you all three. And the same thing with the loss. So just pay attention to the question, really read the question and see exactly what they're asking for. And remember the formulas, guys, and you should be able to smash it. All right, guys, so that's it. And I'll see you in the next lecture, and remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.